Tonight, we give you an update on the tragic school shooting that took place today in Spokane.
Hurricane Irma continues its destructive path. Find out what government agencies are doing to help the victims.
Thanks for joining us on Murrow News 8.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Irish Concepcion.
And I'm Brittany McIntosh. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Today, 6 students were injured and 1 died during a school shooting at Freeman High School in Spokane. There have been no details on the identity of the shooter, but police report that the threat has been eliminated and the suspect has been taken into custody. The student died in attempting to save his classmates. One nearby hospital has received 3 patients, all from the high school and all in stable condition, and 1 is in surgery now. Spokane Public School District had all schools on a lockdown, which has since been lifted. A memorial going on right now at the Silver River Park Square Atrium in Spokane.
WSU is preparing the opening of September 21st at 5:15 p.m. A dedication will be held in honor of the late WSU president Elson Floyd at the new Elson Floyd Cultural Center.
Elson S. Floyd, the 10th president of Washington State University, brought change and accomplishment to Pullman, Washington. President Floyd's tenure at WSU brought a successful billion-dollar campaign and increased the student of color population by 12%. In 2015, President Floyd passed away from an ongoing fight with colon cancer. His legacy at Washington State University continues to live on forever. The Elson S. Floyd Cultural Center bears the name of the former president and extends his message of diversity, love, and peace. President Floyd, aka E-Flo, cared about the future of the youth.
Beautiful, I love this. Every aspect of the building has its own direct reasoning. Like, there's nothing in this building that wasn't made, etched out, detailed for no reason. You can ask me about anything and I'll give you either Nest Person Influence, which is the highest influential piece in this building, but then it also has Latino, Latina, Hispanic, Pacific Islander, African American. It has everything.
I definitely think it upholds his legacy and allows students to, never forget that he was here. First and foremost, it provides another space for students of color and allies, and I think that's really important and goes along and aligns with the things Elson Floyd believed in.
Signing out is Jay Slaughter with Murrow 8 News. Good night, Pullman.
Wazoo students stormed the football field after a triple overtime win last weekend against Boise State. Brittany McIntosh has the latest on the consequences of student actions.
Victory's always sweet, especially when it's in triple overtime and students rush the field.
It was really exciting. Security was nowhere to be seen, and we all just made a run for it. And we all met up together in the middle of the field, and everyone was jumping and screaming, and it was very exciting, and I was really glad to be part of it.
Unfortunately, it's all not fun and games when charging the field. Beginning last year, Pac-12 has a policy that if students rush the field within the first 60 seconds of the game, there will be a fine to the university of $25,000.
So last year they actually implemented a sanction fining every school just for the safety and well-being of the students, players, coaches, staff, everybody that's on the field. They did it for the safety of all of those people.
Wow, really? A fine for storming the field? Well, let's just say that when I was at Apple Cup in 2012, we stormed the field like crazy and nothing was ever said about it. I think it's a fun school spirit and I'd be happy to chip in for the fine.
The Pac-12 sanction states the fine for storming the field starts at $25,000 the first time, $50,000 after that, and $100,000 for the third. After a review from the Pac-12, it was found that the WSU students stormed the field 60 seconds after the game had ended. Therefore, there will be no penalty charges to WSU in result of the students storming the field. Brittany McIntosh, Murrow News 8.
Police are investigating the death of at least 6 people in a nursing home today due to the air conditioning issues in Hollywood, Florida. The conditions of their deaths are momentarily unclear. The facility known as the Rehabilitation Center at Hollywood Hills Loss has evacuated all 115 patients. Initially, officials responded to a phone call at the nursing home about a patient having a heart attack this morning. At the scene, responders found several patients in varying degrees of medical distress. Officials say 3 patients were found dead in the facility. The others were rushed to the hospital for immediate medical attention, but died shortly after. The person handling the air conditioning for the facility says the fuse was damaged during Hurricane Irma, which caused the cooling issues. Director of Emergency Services at Memorial Regional Hospital, Dr. Randy Katz, says there was extremely hot temperatures on the nursing home's second floor. 18 other patients from a nearby building are also being relocated due to the investigation, even though they were not medically compromised. The IRS announced they will be extending payment deadlines and tax fillings for affected by Hurricane Irma, just like they did for the victims of Harvey. The relief efforts is targeting businesses and individuals living in zones designated as disaster areas by Federal Emergency Management Agencies, or FEMA. Anyone living in those areas will automatically qualify and will not need to contact the IRS for extensions. The IRS will move quickly to provide tax reliefs to the victims of Irma and Harvey. The hurricane-beaten Caribbean is beginning to receive aid from around the world.
Also, a young boy is dead after falling into a volcano. More when we come back.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
I wouldn't use this one.
He helps me with my decision making.
Never.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
An estimated 200,000 people are in need of help on Eastern Caribbean islands. European leaders are beginning to send aid to their territories now that Hurricane Irma has left the Caribbean. With increasing criticism that the region has been neglected by the European nations, President Emmanuel Macron of France is the first to arrive on St. Martin Island on Tuesday. Macron has vowed to rebuild the French territories. The World Food Program is supplying 30 metric tons of high-energy biscuits. This should feed more than 17,000 people for 3 days. The British government has also sent aid to their territories after Hurricane Irma ripped through the Caribbean islands last week. The British are sending servicemen with help relief and rescue efforts. The aid will be given to vulnerable first, including families in shelters, female-headed households, and the elderly. Italian police said an 11-year-old boy has died yesterday after falling into a volcano crater near Naples. The boy's parents rushed to his rescue. In doing so, they also fell into the volcanic crater and died. The area is popular among tourists. However, according to the police, the boy wandered off into the Solfatara crater, which is off limits to any visitor. It is still unknown if the boy was sucked in by quicksand or if the child was lost consciousness due to the volcanic fumes. The family's other child, a 7-year-old, is safe. The Solfatara crater is a dormant volcano. However, it still produces poisonous fumes. The temperatures are finally cooling down and it's feeling more like fall.
After the break, I will update you on weather and what we'll look for the rest of the week.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play or even what you wear. You just need to be there. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Looking at weather this week, today was a nice 67 degrees, a little cool in the air though. We see a little bit of winds coming, but pretty sunny as for well. As we see into tomorrow, we have a little bit of cloudy. We got that night coming through, that little breeze is bringing us some clouds, and hopefully that little sun will be popping out. As we can see, in Washington, we have Seattle a little cooler, but Vancouver, Yakima, and Wenatchee, that's going to be where our warm weather is in the sun. As we come over to Pullman and Spokane, we are seeing a little bit more sun, but a little more clouds in Spokane, hoping that the Seattle weather will not bring us any of those clouds. Moving on to our 5-day forecast, we do see a little bit of rain. So far this weekend, we have some warm weather, which is super nice for that Cougar football game. But besides that, that's it for the weather. Thank you.
Coming up, take a look at social media trends and the latest celebrity news. Everything from flamingos to the Hoover Dam. We'll be right back.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
While natural disasters ignite panic and roller coasters provoke thrill, animals remain calm at the Busch Gardens theme park. In Tampa Bay, Florida, zookeepers lead all types of wild animals into safety shelters in preparation of Hurricane Irma's arrival. Hot pink birds become a hot topic on the internet when a video of flamingos at Busch Gardens marched together in an orderly fashion behind a zookeeper to seek refuge from the storm. Watch as they waddled away.
After 37 hours of partying in Las Vegas, Aaron Hughes, a forklifter driver from North Wales, became the first man to swim across the Hoover Dam. And what's more interesting is that he was intoxicated while he did it. It only took 30 minutes for Hughes to swim across, and believes the only reason he survived was because 9 of the dam's 10 turbines were switched off. Hughes will always remember the first time in Sin City, especially after receiving a $330 fine for swimming in the dam spillways.
From red carpet to Studio B, here's the celebrity scoop. A pop singer is mixing business with pleasure as she's proving her name to be big in both music and beauty. Rihanna just debuted her own line of cosmetics called Fenty Beauty. Okay, yes, Rihanna isn't the first celeb to delve into the world of makeup, but yesterday her 40 Shade foundation made social media news. Affinity magazine expressed their wild thoughts by tweeting, "The dark Fenty Beauty foundation shades are all sold out everywhere. This is for all the brands who think dark shades won't sell well." Shortly after the sellout, brands like Estee Lauder tweeted pictures to show that Riri isn't the only one that offers products for a broad range of skin tones. Looks like she's really up the competition for other prestigious makeup brands.
That's all for our show. Thanks for joining us.
Get your daily news here again tomorrow here on Murrow News 8.